Are you aware that Douglas Hall is working on getting the name changed?
No, I was not aware.
So, how do you feel about the issue?
I feel that since it's a historical debate and it was taken place in something that was very controversial, that it stands. And I think that since they have a poster right in front that explains what happened, um, even though Douglas was on the debate towards racism and Lincoln was in the debate against racism or slavery, I think that it's a history and you can't just bury history. Changing the name, I think, would be wrong. And what would you change it to? I don't know. I think that that's controversial in itself.
I don't know why they would name something after somebody that had slaves and shit like that, stuff like that.
Douglas Hall was built simultaneously with Lincoln Hall, and I also believe Stevenson Hall. They were all built simultaneously, and they finished Douglas and Lincoln Hall together in 1951. And in 1951, the university naming committee, there is such a committee here, a naming committee. I don't think it meets every day, but when the time arises and they have to assign a name to a new building, this committee meets. And in 1951, they met and they decided to name Lincoln and Douglas Hall together in commemoration of the debate which took place in 1858 between Abraham Lincoln and Stephen A. Douglas during the famous Lincoln-Douglas debates.
It seemed like a good idea at the time to recognize one of the most significant events that had occurred in Charleston. And from everything that we can gather about the naming, from the minutes of that meeting at which it was decided, they were indeed recognizing the significance of the debates and not, there did not seem to be any intention of memorializing either participant in the debates. So the question has arisen then again at Faculty Senate. Faculty Senate is still discussing how to proceed, but perhaps then the conversation should be wider. It should once again maybe go to Student Senate. It should go to the Black Student Union. It should go to the community, the Charleston, right? Because they're definitely vested in the significance of that event.
I just think, I think in the end we sort of resolved that debate, but then the events in Charlottesville came along and sort of, kind of refocused attention on this whole question of public memory and public commemoration and what do we do with flawed figures of the past who may have streets or buildings or monuments named after them.
The antebellum period itself is concerned, and I'm glad to see a serious assessment of what it means when we enshrine figures like that happening across the country, and it seems to me that Charleston should catch up.